Princess Chelsea is back in New Zealand, back making new music, and back on stage. With a new album, Everything Is Going to Be Alright, just out, and a European tour recently wrapped, we find Chelsea on Waiheke Island resting up for her string of New Zealand shows. But first, we hear Chelsea has visited Abbey Road Studios.
Got an opportunity to go in there and do a live session and just went for it, obviously, because I think the live experience of my music's quite different to the record, and it's just a really neat place to have it captured. We went in there and did 2 full days in Studio 2, which is amazing. You know, like all these instruments that were played by the Beatles and Pink Floyd, and especially if you're a keys player, I think there's like organs, a Celeste, pianos, Rhodes, Wurlitzer, even a Mellotron.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is the Mellotron monstrous? Is it like huge?
It's not that big. It's a little out of tune.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It sounds like fun. So when is this going to be seen?
We filmed it with a big crew, and so we've got we did 11 songs in one day, which is kind of
really. That's ridiculous.
We were so tired at the end. I think I was lying on the floor. I'm going to work through it this summer and have a look at the. It's the video editing stuff that will take a while. Like the audio is essentially just captured live. It's there. It's just mix.
Just got to mix it, right?
That bit. But we'll keep it how it was.
Very cool.
I'd say I'd start rolling it out next year. And then I probably am going to do a live album out of it.
Cool.
We also recorded. I brought Bob Frisbee with me on tour, which is lucky me. And we recorded every single concert that we did live.
Right.
And we're also filming most of them. So there's heaps of, it's quite cool what we've done. I'm going to wade through it. Have a look.
Because I just watched the I Miss My Man live thing. Is that one?
Yeah, that was one of those. Just straight from the desk. It's quite a lot different, like the live experience, I think.
Yep. I can tell. So where was that one recorded? Do you remember the I Miss My Man one? Was it in Prague or
that one is in
Berlin?
Vienna. Excuse me.
Sure.
At Chelsea Club.
Of course.
Easy to remember. Yeah. And the Vienna crowd was, for some reason I find crowds, like to generalize, a bit quieter in that part of Europe. They were the opposite. They ruined my generalization.
Yeah, well, stereotypes are made to be broken.
Yeah, great.
So when you're up on stage, it looks like I was watching the video, and it was almost cathartic and triumphant at the same time when you're doing that song, I Miss My Man. Tell me what it feels like to you.
Yeah, well, because I never used to perform without an instrument. I was always quite often for confident keys player, so I'm very happy and comfortable doing keyboard stuff. And about 4 years ago, I just decided not to really be playing instruments, and that was a real challenge. And for me, I always struggle with it because basically to do what I do on stage now, I have to shut my eyes and pretend I'm not on stage and do whatever comes naturally. But it's really hard sometimes to be natural when you're trying to be a performer as well, because it's like walking.
So without the instrument, do you feel exposed more? Is that the problem?
Oh, yeah, of course. But I can really focus on my vocal, which is great. And I basically just have to lose myself. And so I kind of don't really know what's going on. And that's why I'm throwing beer and stuff all over my poor bandmates' beautiful keyboards, because I actually don't know I've done it until after the show. So that's the only way I can feel like I can give an authentic performance like that, is to get totally lost and kind of be in a bit of a trance, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's helpful because it means I'm not overthinking it or being overly dramatic. It's just whatever has happened has happened.
Yep. Makes it genuine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
speaking of the bandmates, so are you playing? You got some shows coming up here in New Zealand. Same band as you, or do you have different bands wherever you are? Or how does it work for
Oh
you?
yeah, definitely same band. Like
Yep.
the Princess Chelsea band is definitely a sum of its parts, and it's many hours of rehearsing with really
Right.
great musicians. I'd say hundreds of hours. So yeah, no one is replaceable in that band.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So tell me
Um,
who they are. Who?
um, so we've got David Harris on drums, and Joshua Worthington Church. They're kind of the first members of this, I guess, the newer live incarnation, which was like started about 2018.
Right.
And then I've got Jasmine Barmer, whose project is Being. She's joined on guitar and vocals. And I've got Kate Tyndall on just backing vocals and percussion, which is cool to have a dedicated vocalist.
Uh-huh.
I've got Joseph Captain on keys. He plays in Merauke. He's
Right.
probably one of the newer members. He's an amazing musician. Well, everyone is. Simeon Kavanagh Vincent, he's in Phoebe Rings. He's got his Lucky
Right.
Boy project as well. He's a multi instrumentalist. They all switch and change.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, yeah, it's and me, obviously.
I think, yeah, I figured you're going to be right there somewhere.
Yeah.
So when you have these hundreds of hours of rehearsing, why do you need to rehearse so much? What's involved in that? Is it just playing the same song over and over? Is there a lot of discussion, experimenting? How does it work?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, all of the above.
Uh-huh.
Like, we had to, every time there's an album, got to learn material, and it's kind of starting from scratch a little bit because the live versions of the songs are wildly different, and we sort of all. I might have a general idea of how I want it to go, but we're all working it out as we go, and that can take, like at least 3 rehearsals a song, like about 10 hours.
Right.
So you how you got, yeah.
Do the
Um,
math.
do the math, and then like always trying to finesse the songs we've learned. And I think it takes a while for a band to get that comfortable with each other and have
Right.
that chemistry that is real on stage, and
Yep.
when you see a band like that, you can feel it. Everyone can, and it's something that I think can sometimes get lost. Not always, but like for instance, I saw Big Thief the other night, and that's a great example of a band that has everything you want to strive for as a live band. They've got that chemistry, that connection, that history.
Yep.
And I think a lot of times people are, I don't know, like, yeah, there might be, it's something that's a little bit lost with maybe wanting to have a set that's festival appropriate or something like that.
Right. 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 So do
I
you
don't
adjust
know.
your set for the New Zealand crowd? Is it a different set than playing in Prague or
No,
Berlin
not
or
at
whatever?
all. It's what we call the face melt set. So
Oh, okay.
it's an assault on
I love it.
your face.
Cool, cool, cool. So when you're watching a band like Big Thief as a performer, do
Mm.
you take notes? Do you take mental notes about what they're doing? Does any of that seep into what you do eventually?
Oh yeah, I think with any music you like or any performer, it probably should.
Yep.
Yeah, like you just what's something about that band I really enjoyed was you can rock out really quietly,
Yeah.
and dynamic control can be just as rock and roll quiet as it is loud. Less is more sort of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think there's something to be learned from anything, really. Always trying to learn.
Uh-huh. All
Yeah.
righty. So the album is Everything Is Going to Be All Right. It's just been released a little while ago. Um, and from what I understand, you kind of went through some stuff to get to you kind of took a little break, decided to come back. What was that process like for you?
Oh yeah, so I kind of recorded the first song on the album. Um, about 2018,
Right.
the opening track, like the
Yep.
Everything Is Going to Be All Right part one.
Yep.
Sounds in the minor key, shall we say. Um,
Yep.
and then I just hit pause because I basically needed to focus on my health without wanting to get too into it. Like I
Yep.
just needed a break and to get better and, look after myself. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I resumed recording probably around the lockdown. And
Right.
I ended up recording, most of this album in the period of about 4 months, in this room. Actually,
Right. Right.
this is my little home
Oh,
studio.
cool.
Yeah. The original idea was to actually do something wildly different and demo up stuff and then get the band to play it live in a studio, which is what we did with The Forest. We finally got a break in the lockdowns. We could run to the lab and do that, and that's really something different for me, that recording. It's really good.
So I run through the forest.
With Jeremy Toy on that one, is that right?
Yeah, I worked with Jeremy. He mixed 4 of the songs on the album, and Ollie engineered it, and Jeremy mixed and produced it. So yeah, that was kind of my ethos, as I want to get more people involved. I'm sort of really appreciating collaboration and not only performing but also in recording. And I think it's a weird one. Like when you start off as a solo producer or whatever, it can be a bit scary to let people in because you're worried about losing your sound or whatever. But I think as long as it's the right people and you're not overthinking it, it's gonna be better. Yeah, and that's something I think as I continue, I'm gonna, like, I've done the control freak. I record everything like shit. I've done all that. I just want to work with other people. Yeah.
Okay. And you're still working with Jonathan Bree as well, right?
Yeah. Like he definitely, he plays guitar and drums on some of those tracks. I often get him to play drums, at least when I'm in a home studio environment. And I think he mixed 2 or 3 of the tracks. So I had different people mixing. I had Ryan McFun, Jeremy, Jonathan. Yeah. I think for next time I'll probably try and do it all kind of live-ish in a studio, kind of how we did The Forest, because that was the concept for this one. But yeah, so I've got lots of good collaborators. My bandmates, Josh and Simeon, came, like, I think we had to do it because of the lockdown with a computer. Like, we're recording guitar parts. Me and Josh worked on the last track together, Everything Part 2. So yeah, that was an example of a track where it's really good collaboration. Like, he's done about half the instrumentation there and the playing.
So with the similar songs opening and closing the record, it kind of feels to the layman like it could be a concept record of some description. So is there like a journey, a story you're telling in this record?
Yeah, for the most part, it's just like I guess the last couple of years, and the journey is sort of basically getting better, to put it simply. Which it kind of happens. Starts tense and a bit. It's poppy, of course, and maybe not overtly sinister, but yeah, there's some dark themes in there. And then it kind of resolves at the end.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's the idea is that it's something that's nice to listen to, if you want some to feel supported, or I don't know.
Gotcha. Now I see you covered In Heaven, which is a David Lynch tune that originally was on Eraserhead, is that right? And Ryan McFun, I think, worked with you on that one. Tell me about that. Why did you choose that one?
In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. You got your good thing, and I've got mine.
I actually just recorded it around the time of actually the first song I did. So that's actually an older one.
Right.
And I think I actually started it in a hotel room on tour. And I just liked the sound of the recording. And while it's someone else's song, I kind of channeled what I was feeling at the time into the recording. And because it was around the time of what some of the other material on the album, it just felt connected, so I put it on there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that song's been recorded by other folks. Are you familiar with like the version by Devo or Bauhaus?
I know the Pixies did one.
Pixies did it, yeah.
And I haven't heard the Devo Bauhaus ones, but I guess it must be a cool, gothy, punky thing to do.
Well, it's David Lynch, so of course it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's quite a cool musician too.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an interesting fellow.
I assume you haven't met him.
No, I haven't met David Lynch.
You never know. It doesn't hurt to ask.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, weirder things have happened to me.
Like what? No, I'm intrigued.
I can go into it. It's a classic, like, oh, this is a real Chelsea situation. Just something bizarre happening.
Now, I see you shot a video at the Civic Theater for Forever is a Charm. That looks like it was fun. It's a great place to shoot.
Forever is a charm, and it's never getting better. It's nothing like the words that you wrote in your letter. Forever is a charm, and it's never getting better. It's nothing like the words that you wrote in your letter.
Oh yeah, they're so nice. It's like you think normally, oh, this beautiful, important building that's going to be really serious and it's going to be hard to do. How are we going to do this? So it's so welcoming, so nice. Yeah, and I did it with Stu Page, who you're probably aware of, and he had Fred Renata on the camera. I believe his daughter is Ernie Bell, who's just released.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what I love about New Zealand. Everybody
really talented
knows
family.
everybody, related to everybody. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I like her record. It's really good.
Right. Yeah. And somebody else shot a video. I just talked to, Estier shot a video at Pacific as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Same place, and it looks quite different. Like, it's cool how you can, the style of your video can make the environment look. It's still the Civic, but it looks really different. It's cool.
Yep. Yeah, very cool. So now that you've got this record out of your system and you're back on track, are you thinking about what you're going to do next?
Yeah, like I am exhausted, if I'm going to be honest. Like I haven't been home since April, and I'm about to do New Zealand shows. So once I've done those, around Christmas time, I'll be finally able to have a proper break. I will think about what I'm going to do next. It looks like there may be some touring of Asia on the cards, which is really exciting. I'll probably start working on new stuff, but I do want to make sure that I get the band out to places that I haven't been, because we've spent so much time working on the set, and it's so important to all of us that I want to make sure we perform to as many people as we can.
Yep. It's very cool. Yeah, and you got to take a little break and take care of yourself as well, so you don't have.
I've learned that.
Yeah, I bet you did. Oh man! All righty. Well, very good. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. Good to see you
thank you
out and about, and we'll catch your show at the Power Station, definitely.